Okay, we are recording. Welcome, Shoshanna. Thank you so very much for being here. Thank you for saying yes to the invitation to co-create this episode of SCAR, Sacred Cracks, Crevices, and Rubies. Really excited to have this conversation with you, to learn from you, and to just share out from our hearts. Happy Gregorian calendar New Year. It is the 4th of January, 2025. How are you feeling at this moment? And how is your reflections on the previous year cycle coming along?
Yes. Thank you, G. And I'm so grateful that you asked me to be here with you. This is quite a blessing. Quite a blessing. Oh. So I am in this moment super grateful for this time. You know, we're friends and I always cherish our time to connect and reflect, and I just have such appreciation for you, G, and just the way that you create beautiful space. And I feel that right now, and I feel very welcomed. So, and so just that's where I am. So grateful for this moment. And in reflection of this year past was out of this world. It was a dream come true. It was completely a dream come true. Mm-hmm. I started to say yes to the opportunities in this journey from the start of the year, and everything blossomed. Everything. I mean, it was so breakthrough for me in this lifetime. Yeah, from the beginning of just saying yes to a show, Spring Awakening. That was I think that was the very beginning of saying yes to opportunities. I was cast in the show, and my past was a lot of saying no to opportunities. So this was a shift where I said yes. And it was such a beautiful experience. I was in a show with epic players, with neurodiverse actors. And the show was so incredible. I mean, the director did such a brilliant job with it. And I felt so appreciated. I played 2 roles in it, 2 contrasting roles. And I found that I love acting more than I ever even knew how much I loved it. And I loved the experience of working in this show. Yeah, I devoted myself 100%. And that was an incredible experience and very rewarding, really, really rewarding. That led to another opening for someone came to the show and cast me in her show from seeing me in Spring Awakening. And so I just was in another show. And it was just like that, just one thing after the other, cast in a movie, a short film. And I feel like I'm leaving something out, and then leading to, I feel like there was more, but that was like I said, just really extraordinary fun and great opportunity to share gifts and dreams with the world. And then completing the song, Clean Your Dirty Laundry, which I was working on for 4 years. I started creating Clean Your Dirty Laundry in 2020, right around the when COVID began. I think that was the beginning of the COVID, lockdown and all of that. And that's when I started creating this song, this rap. So, and to complete putting that in the world in this year, I mean, it's just been really, I'm talking whoa, unbelievable, and just stepping into all the healing that had been in process, working on healing. And it just this year I was grounded in all the healing work that I had done and was able to step in to sharing the gifts from that place of groundedness and well-being. And yeah, the journey with the song and to releasing it this year, at the end of the year, winter solstice. So yeah, so it was just, yeah, really, really, really incredible. And yeah, so yeah.
Well, I bow to you and congratulate you for
Thanks.
such a extraordinary year. Like the vibration of the year pass, what it did to you, for you, through you, really came through in what you shared. And with your permission, I'd love to take a step back.
Okay.
SCCaR, as I shared with you, this space called SCCaR is intended to look at how we transform our sacred cracks and crevices into rubies. And it feels from what you shared that there were quite a few rubies that came to the fore in the cycle we call 2024. And you also shared that this was a journey, that there was a time before you said yes to invitations, you said no to invitations, and you shared about being grounded in all of the spiritual work that you did prior and continue to do, it never really ends, that really allowed for you to say yes to the invitations. And I wondered if you would share a little bit more, to the level that you're comfortable, about the transformation that took place, even at the most subtle level. Was there a shift that you can feel, a shift that you can intuit, that that moved you from no to saying yes? Was there a particular insight, or even sharing the tools, some of the tools that you use to ground you and to guide you to say yes? Anything that you feel comfortable sharing, anything that is channeled through you to share, I'm eager to hear.
Okay. All right, let me see. Yeah, quite a journey with that. So I would say that the journey was very young. I had opportunities, starting at like 17, things started to open up, opportunities started to come my way because I started to step out as an artist. I made my very first film when I was 17. And playing hooky from high school, I took a college course at the New School for Social Research and on filmmaking. And I took to the streets of New York, inviting people to do the twist to Chubby Checker's twist music. And it was an experimental, it was my, experimenting with filmmaking. And what happened was the teacher, after I edited the whole piece together of different people from all walks of life doing the twist on the streets of New York, put that together, the teacher said, that I had a gift with filmmaking. And the process was, Guirlaine, back at high school, what was going on was my principal called me into the high school that I was going to, that I was playing hooky from. And she said, I can't graduate you. You were never here. You were out getting stoned. I said, Mrs. Oliver, I wasn't out getting stoned. I was out making a movie. So she asked to see the movie, Guirlaine. I showed her the movie and she said, not only am I going to graduate you, I'm going to show your movie at graduation. And this film got shown there. It got a distributor. It was taken for WABC TV in New York and Los Angeles. I got a distributor. It was shown to the US Navy to cheer the troops up. I was 17 years old and doors were opening and I was saying yes, 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 yes. And And people thought, whoa, this young, 17-year-old, like, was going to come together. I was like on my way, right? And I got into the University of Southern California. I said yes to that, top film school there. But what happened is, I had the world ahead of me, and I was a, yes, and doing it, and things were flowing. I was acting in people's movies at film school, and and I really, and I wanted to serve and bring peace to the universe through my creative gifts. I knew that right out. That's what I was going to do. Bring peace and healing. And I was on my way. And what happened is, and this is challenging. This is a challenging thing to share right now, but I was going to go back to New York to visit my mom, and someone offered to take me to the airport. And this person on the trip assaulted me. It was a major, it was, and I tried to get away in this incident, and that caused more problems where the person went crazy and tried to kill me, basically. I don't know, is it okay to share, G, about this, or is this, yeah?
To the level that you're comfortable, I just want to always make sure that you feel resourced, comfortable to share.
Yeah, I mean, this is part of this is completely, it is what happened, and it is part of the journey that, it's part of me, what happened, and I need to share it to answer your questioning about the journey of healing. So, so I was lucky to live, basically, because the person hit my head numerous times, and it was a loaded gun that he had behind it. So, so it was very lucky. Basically, people don't know, he actually was so crazy. I mean, he drove me to the airport after the assault, and left me at the airport. And I was out because he also drugged me. It was a very major situation there. I remember when I woke up from this incident, G, the first thing that came to my thoughts was, this better not have affected my ability to bring my gifts into the world. That was what I cared about. That was the first thing. I was just like, oh, please, God. I know I came to awareness that I was assaulted, I was raped. And I said, this cannot affect. I knew I had a gift to share. And I was so scared that it would affect me. And I said, it cannot affect my ability to bring my gifts into the world. That was it. That was the first thought. And in fact, I went on, I thought I was fine. My mom came out to get me in California, where I was at USC, where this happened. I came back to New York, and we went for an MRI to check, how that my head was okay. The doctor said he thought it was okay, but he said, we cannot, with a brain injury, you never know. It looks like you're fine. Your tests are coming out fine, but we cannot promise that it is. We can't, things change around brain injuries like that, because it was major. I mean, I was out for hours, unconscious. So, but I was so determined it was not going to affect me. And I got into NYU Film School. I made an award-winning film, but I was having such challenges brain-wise, but I did not connect it. I just wasn't connecting it, G, at all to this, because I thought I misunderstood. I thought that the, doctor, the MRI, the specialist, I don't think I could take in that he was saying it could affect me badly. Like, I couldn't even accept that. So I think I rejected that idea, and I did not connect that my challenges with decisions, I was having horrendous problems with making decisions, and I wasn't connecting that it was related, most likely, to this assault, and the TBI, traumatic brain injury. And how it manifested was out of college, I got offers left and right I made an award-winning film, Dinner at JoJo's. and doors were opening. I mean, indie producers wanted to make my movie with me to star in it. My film won Best Film at NYU Film School. And the opportunities were there, in all areas. I don't know, I was just, as a filmmaker, as an actress, I kept on getting these things. I met with someone who wrote for DC and Marvel, and together we collaborated on a comic book about my life. And she was with DC and Marvel. She was the first female to write for both at that time, both, and draw for both DC and Marvel. And we wrote a comic book. And the third opportunity that showed up, and I said no to all of them, but the third one was that with my best friend, Erin, and we said, oh, let's do some project of let's do something when you graduate from film school. And with Erin, I said, hey, Erin, why don't we do rap? And we were laughing because at that time, the only other female rappers was Salt and Pepper, that was, they were in 1989. And so we said, this is total goof. It was like so out of the box. And we went ahead and we did it. We started writing rap, and we wrote our first song, You're Gonna Love Me. And we had an opportunity to meet with Salt and Pepper's lawyer, like their team. And he said, you guys are amazing and you have a great look, and he was gonna help us. And we had it was another, like, really, there were, big things, like the film career, the acting, the comic book about my life, and the rap with Erin. And every time those opportunities came in, I couldn't decide. I know it sounds unbelievable, but I said no to each one. That's what I'm talking about. I said no. And that was as a result of that assault. It affected me so deeply in a negative way. My decision-making ability, I couldn't process things well enough to be able to see, you say yes, of course. And I said no. And my life really unraveled. Like, really, I hit bottom. I lost, I became homeless. I was homeless for years because I was saying no and nothing. And so the gifts that I came with, it just, like, the universe it wasn't aligned. I was saying no, and it was causing big problems. And that was for years. And so it took me, it took me 30 years to heal from the post-traumatic stress, and to learn how to stay balanced, not to get, like, I had gotten so used to drama, and it was so crazy. And I thought that was normal to be, intense and dramatic. And so I had to learn how to keep myself in balance from, really good therapist. And so it took that time, 30 years, until this last year, the year of the dragon, where I began to see, and through help, through Epic, Epic Theater Company, I got a mentor who helps me, who understands the people whose brains are neurodivergent. My brain works differently. And so I have a mentor, and that was helpful. My mentor helped me to see that this Epic was an opportunity. I was ready to say no, even when I got cast in the show. And so I needed that extra support to say, yo, wait a sec, Shoshanna, this is a professional show. You're going to get paid in the show. And she helped me to say yes. And that was the beginning. My mentor at Epic, you get him, that was the beginning. So it took me all these years, until, like I said, this year of the dragon to come around and start to say yes. And then I just got into the flow of, yes, let me give this a go. Yes, to the next offer that came in. So does that answer the question of, like, because I know we're on a
it more than answer the question, and I just, with your permission, to take a deep breath.
Okay, yes.
Shared, you shared so much. You were so generous and open and vulnerable and tender. Such a role model, such an inspiration, such a demonstration of what the journey looks like, what the journey looks like, and the support that's needed, and the years that are needed, and the messiness of it all, that sacred messiness of it all, and the taking in of the lessons, and the taking care of yourself, and the grace to yourself. Thank you for exemplifying that. Thank you for sharing so generously, putting your story out there in service. I know your heart. I know you very well. And you shared over and over again that you are here as a vehicle to be a change, to bring love into the world. And thank you for doing that by sharing your story. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to check in with you as to how you're feeling in this moment. Is there anything that you need, anything that may be supportive in this moment? Every moment is a journey.
Yeah. Thank you, G. Let's see. I think I'm going to take a sip of my tea. That's what I'm feeling moved to do.
I think I will do the same.
Yeah. Okay. Now I feel, thank you for that, G, for asking. But yeah, I feel like that shares the authentically and truthfully, what that journey was to the yes, right, to say yes. It was so layered, the whole experience, very, very complex. The reasoning, behind the saying no to everything, because when I tell people, sometimes they're like, no, you said no. Like, how could you have said no? So layered in that it was self-sabotage, which is a common thing that happens after assaults, I hear. But it was also that my brain literally could not make decisions, which is another thing I've heard, Guirlaine, happens around post-traumatic stress. Under trauma, the brain can decide, make a decision, and that was what happened. And so that was the reasoning. I mean, yeah, because it's hard for me. For a long time, I was in regret about all those missed opportunities. But now I'm just trying as much as I can. But it was hard to let go of the regret. I'd be like really suffering in regret. And going over it for a long time. It took me to get past that and to just be in the now and the blessing of now. And it's helped me. And yes, now I can really revel in the joy of expressing at this point and really being in that experience of now sharing gifts and dreams in the world. So, yeah.
Indeed. And what I'm also hearing and feeling from you, Shoshana, is self-compassion. It's compassion for self. It's compassion, I think, for quote unquote the other. We never really know what's going on completely, quote unquote, over there. And to have a sense of compassion is so key. Such an important way to walk in this world. I don't know the whole story, be it the story that's happening within me or the story that's happening within the other quote unquote being.
Yeah.
And so your generosity and sharing your story, at least for me, really deepened compassion and grow my compassion to to be mindful of what I don't know, what I can't know, what is being hidden from me from a place of protection, which is what trauma is meant to do. It's a protection.
Right.
So I appreciate deeply what your honesty, your candor, your courage has emanated into the world and emanated into my soul and to my heart. And with your permission, would love to delve into yet another journey. Feels like life is a larger journey, and within it there are these micro journeys that we go on, right? And perhaps one of the micro journeys is the beginning of what leads to this present moment, if you will, and that's clean your dirty laundry, and which is extraordinary. And as you shared your story, I'm seeing the connection between quote unquote the past and the present. With rap music and using music to share messages that open the heart. And earlier you shared that that journey to clean your dirty laundry started during the pandemic. And so if you feel so comfortable, I'd love to know the origin story of that, of what was it, about a 4-year journey, if you will. And there might be micro journeys within that journey as well too, but whatever you want to share about what led to the yes and the birthing of that baby in winter solstice 2024. Just eager to hear it all.
Okay. And I'm so enthusiastic to share. So thank you for asking, G. Thank you for this opportunity. Okay, so let's see. Because it does go back. Yeah, I don't know how far back I go for the beginning of it. I could jump around. Yeah, I'll try to do my best with how to explain it. Okay. One of the things is, well, there was a seed in me, like in my soul, from that experience of it not coming together, like having the opportunity to be a rapper, and like probably my sense in what people thought it would be huge. We were so, in 1989, it was so original at that time. And, and I was young, and it was like, and the song was really great. And so the fact that did not come together, that I got in the way of that opportunity, I think it was still in me years later, that I have got to bring a rap into this world. Like that seed was in me, that it's like, I can't let that assault have like knocked my career off, and that I don't share a rap in this world. Like I had to overcome to put something out there. So that was in me. But then what happened was I had this footage that I filmed in 2011 in a laundromat. This was the inspirational moment for the song. So what happened is, now traveling back, I hope I don't confuse you and everybody, but okay, you let me know if you have any questions about it. Traveling 2006, I was dealing with a second trauma around something with a dental incident that changed how I looked. It just changed the shape. Like I got a lot of attention for being like mesmerizing, like not perfectly look like offbeat beauty, but I got a lot of attention. I was very dramatic looking, big features, everything was big. And I got a lot of attention for how I looked. And that changed after I had this one dental incident. It was like night and day. It was such a shock to go through this experience of having always getting so much attention from my look and then nothing from that day on. And I was re-traumatized. It was like a trauma, it was like a second really big trauma. And I was pissed also. I was so angry about feeling invisible because of how I wasn't stunning anymore. It was really, I did not handle it well. I really think it really unbalanced me. Like I didn't process this well.
Mhm.
But as an artist, I tried in 2006, I created this fire goddess. Like I said for Halloween, I'm going to be a fire goddess on roller skates. And I spent the day working on my costume for Halloween. And, that I'm going to be a fire goddess. And I was like cutting out flames and putting it on a crown and on my leotard and all of this. And it took me so long, Guirlaine, to do this that I missed all the parades. And I was like, oh my God, once again, I didn't organize and I didn't get to the parades. And I was really upset. And, but then I got a message within that said, hey, you could bring this into the world on days other than Halloween. And I then came up with the name for this character this Halloween costume character, which was Super Firewoman, roller dancing hero of the heart. And I then decided, that I was going to use this to bring healing to the world and to myself, because I said, I'm going to be the beauty of the heart. If I'm no longer the outer beauty in this world, carrying outer beauty, I'm going to be the beauty of within. And I'm going to help create a paradigm shift of people so focused on the outside to focusing on the inside. It was like this intention. And I got very obsessed with this. And about bringing a healing through my Super Firewoman, roller dancing hero of the heart. And I started to go out in the world as Super Firewoman. And it was really hard to do that because I felt very uncomfortable with how I looked. And here I am in this dramatic costume. And I was so embarrassed that people didn't even notice me. Even with this fire, like this huge fiery crown, I felt still invisible, like people. And so it brought up even more issues around, like, even in a costume like this, I'm not seen. It was very hard, but I was determined that this was going to heal me and bring healing to the world somehow, like Super Firewoman. So I would continue to go out, and then from 2006, I'd make these outings as Super Firewoman. I'd go out and I'd meditate with people on their heart and what their gifts and dreams were, and then I would dance with them in honor of their gifts and dreams. And I just kept working with Super Firewoman, bringing that out into the world. Just into like upstate New York, where I was living in New York City, and then in 2011, that's when I decided I'm going to a laundromat as Super Firewoman. And I'm going to dance in the laundromat and bring love to the laundromat, and get people to dance in honor of their gifts and dreams that are doing their laundry. And I filmed it. And then years later, I shared it. I didn't share it right away, but years later, I shared it. Like around 2020 is when I shared that footage from the laundromat. And people loved it. They were like, whoa. And it was the first thing, that people responded to. Like, people didn't get my Super Firewoman really, but they loved that laundromat thing because it was funny. I was in the laundromat dressed to the nines, right? And still, no, people just did their laundry and didn't even do a second take. So it's very funny. People were like, this is hysterical. And since people loved it so much, I then went to write a rap song. It just inspired me. I said, this needs a song. This is like, people love this footage. I got to put a song to this. And that's when I wrote Clean Your Dirty Laundry. That's what inspired Clean Your Dirty Laundry. Do you get it? So like from that footage that I put up on Instagram, that people went like, whoa, this is great. And I got the most likes on it, and people really got Super Firewoman. They thought it was funny and fun. So I said, wow, this is it. This is where they're getting this creation. And that, like I said, so that's when I wrote the song. That was like around that time. Yeah. And I said, I'm going to rap this. I'm going to do the rap. So that was the birth of the song, of the poem that I wrote. But it was, I don't know if you have questions about it, but it was a journey.
Indeed. It really was a journey. And what struck me in your sharing is you're listening to your heart. Like an idea comes to you and you do it. it was there was the trauma with the dental, and the reckoning with that, and yet there was this motivation to take that, if you will, to take the seed of that and transform it into inner beauty, right?
Yes.
If there the perception, like, okay, if there's not going to be the focus on this external
Yeah.
beauty that is Shoshana, then I'm going to bring it back to the internal beauty.
Yeah.
So taking what happened, taking that sacred crack, taking that crevice, and transforming it into this ruby, literally red, right? The super fire woman,
Yes.
and then missing Halloween and the costume,
Yeah.
and that feels very much benevolent universe saying, no, this is bigger than
Yeah.
Halloween, and your decision to say, oh, well, I'm sad about that, but it doesn't have to be limited to Thanksgiving. I can do this continuously. I don't
Right.
have to wait until Thanksgiving. And then to take it out into the world and to meditate with people for 5 years before even getting into the laundromat. So and then the idea to even go to rollerblade, to roller skate in a laundromat, I'm really honoring the inspirations that come in you and through you, and you're actually acting upon them, listening to them. Is that
Yeah.
natural for you to do, to listen to that inner inspiration and then go out and do it in the world?
Yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah, it is. It is.
mhm, mhm,
Yeah, I do. I spend a good amount of time praying and
mhm,
listening
mhm,
and doing my best to discern what I'm getting.
mhm,
I really devote a tremendous amount of time to that. Yeah,
mhm, mhm, mhm.
yeah, a tremendous amount of time. So, I'm always praying, what am I to do at this time
Yeah.
on the planet to be of service
Mhm,
of all beings? It has always been with me like that. I think since I was
mhm,
17, that's how I've approached creative. It was
mhm, mhm,
what is needed, and let me hear it and let me bring that forth. What is needed from me. So yeah,
mhm,
it has.
mhm. That
Yeah,
that feels innate to you.
it is.
That's just how you're wired to be of service. How do I be of service? How do I use my talents? And even as you shared,
Yeah.
when you awoke, after the assault, may it not affect me, in terms of using my gift to be of service. And indeed, you did with support.
Yes.
Um, and
Yes.
and I have had the privilege of being on some of that journey with you with Clean Your Dirty Laundry, and I would love if you would share, if you feel so inspired, a few lines, verses from the rap, the poetry that you
Yeah.
wrote,
Okay. Sure.
especially in particular. I would say, is there a section of this poem music that is particularly resonant for you, is particularly personal to you, is where when you say the words, you feel a vibration, you feel perhaps even a touching of a particular nerve, a touching of your big heart. Is
Yeah.
there are there verses in that beautiful song that and poem? I see it as poetry in set to music that
Yes.
you would feel welcome to share.
Sure. So interesting. Thank you for that question, G. So interesting. I mean, as you're saying it, it's feeling like the divine is like giving me that line, like it's just going like, oh my gosh. So the line that's coming to me, that's like popping out of the poem, is Planetary Love Keeper. And yeah, that's just popping out. I don't even remember all the words right now because that line is just going like Planetary Love Keeper. And yeah, so that is popping out. Just, I guess it's really, I really resonate with, I feel like I am a planetary love keeper. I am here as
Mhm,
a queer, to
Mm-hmm.
um, to hold that torch for the inner beauty and for love,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um,
Mm-hmm.
creative expression. That feels like the essence and of what who I am and what I am to do. And my mission is to be a planetary love keeper on the planet, to hold that torch and be firm about uh,
Mm-hmm.
protecting our planet, contributing to it, because it's not just, all of us need to do it together, but that's the contribution I need to make, is to hold the space for peace and love, for us to remember to love one another. And so that stands out for me out of all the words. Yeah, I think that's it. That sums it up. That it's like
Mm-hmm.
get all the extra, all the stuff, plagiarism, racism, ageism,
Mm-hmm.
all these things. I like that one too. Like plagiarism, that segment where I say ageism, racism, plagiarism, down the drain, no need for strain, lean in. Oh no, I'm mixing up words, but
Okay.
I'm putting different verses together. Um, but I think it's really, really about it's getting rid of all that stuff to really get to the Buddha of all of us. That we are
Mhm.
all Buddhas. We are all
Yeah.
really Buddhas. That's what I'm learning in my spiritual teachings. Is it's just waking up to who we really are.
Mhm.
Stop
Indeed.
screwing all this junk. It's not who we really are. We're really all
Mhm.
love. And
Mhm.
so the song is really about getting to the heart, back to love, getting rid of
Mhm.
all that junk, hatred, and yeah, all this stuff, ageisms, and, all of that, and getting to the truth, our love,
Indeed.
and
Indeed.
yes, that's the one that stands out for me, Planetary Love Keeper out of everything. What about you, G? Anything for you when like, do you have a line that really jumped out?
Yes. What I deeply appreciate, I love the Planetary Love Keeper, because that's my perception of you from the moment we met. And what really resonates with me about Clean Your Dirty Laundry is really this gentle call to look at oneself, this gentle call to heal, this gentle call to really understand the conditioning, what's piled upon us, what's piled upon our innate light,
Yeah.
what's piled upon us, really accessing the inner beauty, because that's what lasts when everything else falls apart. That's
Yeah.
what we have to lean on, and really this understanding that if we do not individually clean our dirty laundry, that affects the collective. Whatever we see happening in the collective, we're a part of that. And so to transform, as I'm understanding it, as your beautiful words and the music comes into me, to transform the collective of which we're a part, starts with you, literally
Yeah.
doing the work of kind of sorting. When you do laundry, right, you're sorting out. Why do we even do laundry, right? We do laundry. There's a reason for it, because we want to present in a particular way in the world. So it's just, for me, a very, very loving and fun and upbeat call to action, honestly, is the way that I see what was channeled through you, and the way that you sing it, the frequency
Mm.
that comes from you in that song is pure joy. It's just
Mm.
pure joy. And coming from that place of joy, it's an inspiration. That's an activation in a way that inspires. Okay, to even
Wow.
be aware. Okay, where is it? Where can I look? Where can I transform energy? Where am I here? How deep is this conditioning? How deep is this stuff, this
Mm.
heavy stuff that is laid upon us? So I
Yes.
really see it as a beautiful call to action, and and even the energetics of it um, really being transformative, and that it was birth, winter solstice 2024, that it's birth as we enter this new cycle,
Yeah.
which from astrologists and those who have such a feeling is going to be a pretty dramatic time for humanity and such an opportunity for us to see the dirty laundry,
Yeah.
if you will, and the Maya, and to proceed accordingly to the extent that we can. Doesn't have to be dramatic. It's
Yeah.
literally taking a step. That's how it lands for me. The love behind it, the generosity behind it, the service behind what
Mm.
what you birth.
Oh, how beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, G. Thank you so much. It is, G, a miracle that it was even released,
Mhm,
basically.
mhm,
Yeah, because there were so many times, with this process, like it did not come easily. A lot of times creativity, like painting, boom, and I got the
mhm,
painting, and it's like very quick and easy to do paintings. This was not the same process. And so along the journey of making this song, taking
mhm,
4 years on one song, I think that's 4 years that it took. I kept going like, is this not meant to be in the world? I really did,
mhm,
because
mhm,
each time there was a problem in the recording studio, something would come up, it wasn't right, I wasn't in the pocket, like in the pocket with my delivery, I was off the rhythm. I mean, it really took
mhm,
a lot of work, a lot, yeah. So it was not like boom, boom, boom. I made, like I said,
mhm,
on one song, and I started to wonder. And even before the release date, I got a guidance that my vocals were not good, and I said, "Oh my God!" They said there's a term, a technical term. They were not recorded properly, and someone actually was suggesting I do not put the song out there. And I won't go into the
yeah.
specifics about that, but basically, I actually took the song off the release. I took it
Mhm,
down. It was so hard for me. I even filmed taking it down because I was like, I don't want to take my song down. I wanted to go out on the 21st. It was such an intention. And I pushed the button on the computer to take it down. I took my song down, and I was there. And then after taking the song off the release, like DistroKid, that's my distributor. I took it down because I thought this is not professional. So gee, it was like a miracle. I then got a second take on the song, and this other audio engineer said, no, 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 no. I think your vocals, they are technically not perfect, but it fits into a certain genre of rap. And he said, I think it's awesome. And I just said,
mhm,
what, go with that. And I put the song back up. And it is a miracle that even though it takes a while, I don't know if this is making sense, but when you put your song back up on the distribution site, it can take a
mhm,
long time until it gets released. Like it could take a month.
yeah.
And so I thought on the 21st, where I told everybody on social media my song is going to be available, I thought it wasn't going to be available. And I was really upset again. I was like, oh my God, I am so embarrassed. I told people it's out there. It is not going to be out there. So the whole process, and I called a friend on that day, the 21st, and I said, Haley, I had been, my friend Haley, I said, Haley, my song is not out there. I'm like, I am so embarrassed and I'm so upset. I said, I took it down and I put it back up, and now it's not going to be out there until a month, and I missed the solstice. She goes to what is it, Spotify. She says to me, Shoshana, your song is there. It was, I don't know if you realize it, but it was a miracle because I literally just put it back up on the distribution site. It should have taken a month until it was out there, but
Mhm.
it went up and it met my deadline of the 21st. So that's what I'm saying. It was things like this, G, like years of like, you're off the rhythm, you can't do
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
Do it up, maybe have someone else sing the song, all kinds of things like this, you know? And, but I kept moving through anyway. And so it's like, I'm so grateful. I am so grateful. Yeah. It's a miracle,
And
but
I am indeed, and I am grateful. I so appreciate your share. Remember the micro journeys, right?
yeah.
And to share that creativity is like life is not always a straight line, right? Sometimes it's instantaneous and it will go exactly as planned, and then other times it's a bit circuitous, right? It's all over the place, and it's not all us. If any of it is us, right? Like the universe also wanted that song, that statement to be out on the solstice, and it was. So it is I'm also hearing a bit of surrender from you too. And again, here you are following your instinct. Something says to you inside, no, this is not quite right. And you have the courage to listen to it. That's not
Mm,
easy to do. We tend to push it aside, and it feels to me like as if you were rewarded by the universe, saying, "Okay, you listened, and this is going to come out exactly as we planned it. It's a co-creation." And I love that you stayed with it. You persevered because this is something that was meaningful to you. This
mm,
was your purpose, your journey, Planetary Love Keeper, and this song was part of that, and that being a demonstration of what gets us through.
mm,
I heard a quote recently, that if we know the why of our life, we can handle almost any how.
mhm.
And one of the beautiful gifts I take away, one of the many beautiful gifts I take away from this truly extraordinary conversation with you is the sense that you, since 17, likely beforehand,
Yeah.
have always known your why in this life. It's always been with you and continues to be with you. And that informs all that you do. And that
Mhm,
informs your extraordinary ability to persevere, to transform, to commit to your healing, to commit to being of service. So thank you for being an exemplary model of what is possible when we are grounded in our why of this life. And I look forward to where that why, where that commitment to love and to healing all beings, where that takes you next. I look forward to the journey of Clean Your Dirty Laundry and the doors that it will open up for
mm,
you. And I would so love to invite you back after this 2025 cycle to see what doors opened up and
mm.
to bear witness to the journey of Clean Your Dirty Laundry, this coming cycle of 2025.
Oh, yes. Sounds wonderful. I welcome that so wholeheartedly, G. I really appreciate that so much. Yes. So, yes, you just let me know and I will be here.
Yes, will do. Will do.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
as we close, my friend, is there anything that has been left unsaid? Anything that your guides are are offering to share in this moment of closure and beginning. With every closure, right, there is a beginning. So anything in your heart to close with intentionality and with love this particular container.
Okay, let's see. Let's see. Okay, so the things, I feel it feels quite complete, but there's, let's see, something popping off the page in front of me that I had on my page. And then also another thing that's wanting to be spoken. So this mantra is actually, I wrote this mantra on the page and it's just here. So I'm going to just say it. And it is, Omahum, Benzaguda Premasidi Hum. And that my intention in my work moving forward is to include this powerful mantra, which is a mantra, a Tibetan mantra that holds the energy of establishing peace and protection on the planet. And so it's a big part of my journey, my spiritual journey, repeating this mantra. And I'm going to see how I can incorporate it into my creative expression, because it just feels like it's very important at this time to really protect Mother Earth with the vibration of Omahum Benzaguda Premasidi Hum. And perhaps on the next show, I could share more about that or whatever if it feels right. But that was just sitting here on the page, so I'm just saying it. The other thing I would love to share is that, where, like, if anybody wants to follow the journey, that they can follow it. I'm on social media, Instagram as Shoshanna Gleich. So I'm Instagram Shoshanna Gleich. So want to welcome that possibility for anybody interested in that. And then the last thing coming through to wanting to be shared is that I'm feeling moved to have a dance contest. So around the lines, for people, anybody that feels moved, they can send me, if they connect with a certain line and are a dancer or not a dancer or whatever, and they want to come up with a dance move and be included in the dance contest for iconic dance moves for Clean Your Dirty Laundry, they can send it, direct message me at Shoshanna Gleich on Instagram. They can direct message me with a short, 30-second video of themselves doing a dance move to their favorite line in the song. So those are the things that I'm feeling moved to share. Yeah, I think that's.
I love that. I may do that. As well. So I will contribute to that, and it may star my little 5-year-old niece, because their children are so free in their bodies, and that's a vibration I want her to feel. She may not understand it. It doesn't matter. Something in her heart. She's a Cancer child, so very emotional. So I look forward to that. And if you do a larger dance party, please let me know. I'd love to partake in that. Movement of body is such a beautiful release and so healing. So
so I will share. I am doing this coming Thursday. At once a month I do lead people in dance. I do lead people in dance.
Oh, wonderful. You do. So, okay.
Anybody interested, and I'll share with you, G, so you can come. But anybody interested, they can direct message me and let me know, and I can share that info with them about that as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Direct on my Instagram. So yeah.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for the energy that you bring to our earth. Thank you for your candor. Thank you for your sharing. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you for your big heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So privileged to call you friend. So privileged to walk hand in hand, heart to heart with you on this big journey called life. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So grateful.
I'm grateful. Thank you, my friend.
Yeah, so grateful to have you as my friend.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to end the recording. Did it end? No. Okay.